Hello friends, welcome back to more Dwarf Fortress. So, I've got some fun news about my own level of ability and skill. I recorded episode 6 completely in its entirety, and my microphone was literally off to the side of my face. You couldn't hear anything but like marp, 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 marp. So, we lost about an hour's worth of gameplay. Nothing extremely adventurous happened, but I am going to give you a couple of updates. So, number one, I don't really remember where we were at the end of episode, or at the start of episode 6, but if we weren't familiar, we did finish our lovely path here for wagons to join us, and we do in fact have a human caravan that pretty much just arrived. So we haven't quite done any trading yet. We are waiting for goods to get delivered and things like that. No other big changes in some of the floors. I did craft a few more items in the queue, so right now our work order list looks like this, which is kind of insane. I did remember that our home civilization, this is actually kind of a cool feature that I didn't know about. If we go into the civilizations tab from the world map and then hover over the dwarven home civilization, the Hammers of Shadows, it does tell us what kind of trade agreement we have. So we do want to bring in some headgear with them. I just concluded a deal with our human friends who just showed up, and I'm pretty much asking for a bunch of stuff next year. A bunch of alcohol would be great, a few different random pets, some cloth, etc. And they just want fish, apparently. So fine, we're gonna apparently give them fish. But that's a neat little feature that I was not aware of. Otherwise, most of the fortress is still relatively the same. I did finally fix the kitchen, and I don't remember if I explained this before. If I did, please forgive me. I'm going to explain it now just to be sure. But I redid the kitchen so that everything should kind of flow near each other. So we've got booze right here. So finished booze from the stills will come down here. And then we've got the storage area for raw plants right here. Then we've got protein, so your meat and your cooked fish goes here in order to be made into meals in the kitchen, which then gets stored in the prepared meals stockpile down here. Between the two, we've got barrels, because barrels will be used for storage everywhere, so just empty barrels. This small stockpile is just for fat, so that fat can be rendered from the kitchen. In the back here, we've got a bunch of stuff. We've got the tanner's workshop, the butcher, and the fishery. And then we've got like I call it the death. We've got the lovely death stockpile. And this is set to accept pretty much any kind of corpse type of item, and also unprepared fish. So unprepared fish will be delivered here to be processed into actual raw, well, cooked fish, I should say, or prepared fish. So that was a relatively big change, but it was just kind of done. And we finally did get the tavern up and running. I'm a little bit bummed that I wasn't able to include this live. So the tavern here, I did go into Z and I made a bunch of rooms. So I made a bunch of bedrooms, and then I made the actual meeting area. And once you make a new zone, you have to turn it into a location. So a zone is different from a location. A location can be made up of multiple different zones. So in this case, the zone that I have down here is attached to the tavern, which is called the Rough Fruit. And then we've got a bunch of bedrooms that are also tied to the Rough Fruit as well. So actually people who are visiting us can rent these rooms and pay us money. I think they pay us money. I don't know if currency's in the game. But anyways, they pay us in joyfulness. Who knows? So some people are already starting to use the tavern. So Azazel right now is actually telling a story. And we found out through the process of trying to assign someone as the tavern keeper. I renamed someone, by the way. We now have Kvoth here as the tavern keeper. If you're not familiar with that, Lord of the Rings, the King Killer Chronicles, highly recommend that. So Kvoth is, how do I make someone else or remove the role? I kind of want to reassign them so I can show you what I saw. It was kind of like here. I think I do this, and then I look for the tavern keeper. So yeah, this random person who was a thresher, one of our kind of newer arrivals, is a proficient pacifier and a skilled negotiator. So I thought that is a fantastic role. We also have Zan here. Zan is another random dwarf that just kind of recently joined us. So I made sure that they had, look at all of our wonderful people are so skilled. Alice is a competent speaker and a competent musician. Zan down here is a singer and a wind instrumentalist, apparently. So I've assigned them to be our performer for the Rough Fruit, which is a tavern that is welcome to all. I also lost my mind a little bit being frustrated with the fact that apparently instruments are not... they are uniquely created at the start of every world generation. So that means that I have no idea what the heck the name of the instruments are that are wind instruments. No clue. I think what I'm going to have to do is go into the instrument piece and just kind of randomly keyboard, pipe, frame, stow seth hammer, tathlak string. I guess this could be a guitar. Maybe we're supposed to get some context clues. I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to have to randomly make these items until we come up with an instrument that we want to try. I have really no clue. No clue whatsoever. Instrument piece. I mean, magak pipes. Sure, we'll make some magak pipes here. I don't think the keyboard would make sense. A Shojin frame sounds pretty good. Can we make a random instrument completely? No, we have to assemble them from different parts. It's a pretty complicated thing, so we're going to experiment with that a little bit later on. Also, in last episode, the hidden, we'll call that the secret episode, episode 5.5, the one that unfortunately didn't quite make it. We also had talked about, I started to talk about finishing out this area, which was going to be like a grand meeting hall. And then I said, you know what? If you picture Lord of the Rings and you picture the scene where they're going into Moria and they get down there and there's this giant cavernous room with huge pillars holding up the ceiling, and then at the other end, the Balrog enters and, everybody runs. So I decided that we are going to make a massive, massive grand chamber. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to use the channeling tool to go down a level at a time until it gets down to roughly here. So this is going to be a 5-story, 5-story chamber. And then I decided that let's have some pillars here, but I don't want these walls. I don't want it to be like random stone. So I think if I kill the stone, it's still going to be accessible. What am I trying to say? This stone is still going to have a floor here, and then I'm going to be able to make... shoot. I just realized that what I want to do is have my own custom supports, basically. These are giant rock pillars, but you can see that the rocks are different colors and different types. But if I remove the pillar, everything is going to collapse. That is interesting. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe if it's touching another pillar. Do we actually have pillars as an item? I think it's just a singular wall, basically. Could have a fortification. That might look kind of cool. Let's experiment a bit. You know what? Dwarf Fortress is nothing if not full of experimentation. So I'm going to put down a fortification here. I'm going to go down a level and put a fortification... Oh, it said no access. That's right. Yeah, because if I have a piece of stone here and I make a pillar and then I remove this piece of floor, that pillar is just floating and it's going to crash down. So I need it to be attached to something. So I guess if I do... I think it would work, actually. I have to just build the wall from this side. So let's build a wall here. And then for fun to see how it looks, let's build a fortification here. All right, we'll come back to that in a minute. That's going to be a long-term project. That's kind of our first mega project that we're experimenting with. Also, man, it was such a fun episode, but it wasn't like crazy. It was just me talking and trying to figure stuff out. We had Azazel, I think it was Azazel. Solnir, sorry. Solnir decided to go a little bit crazy and craft an artifact. So we now have an additional artifact in the fortress, and that is Cabrol Death, Oshurmither is going to be a spear that's hanging out in here. This is a bone spear, a horse bone spear. Of course, all crafts dwarf ship is of the highest quality. On the item is an image of an emerald cut gem in horsebone. So that is what Solnir crafted. Now, Solnir was going a little bit crazy. He did claim one of the workshops, and I was getting a little bit scared, so I walled him in, and I put a hatch down because I was slightly concerned that he was going to go bonkers because I couldn't give him any bone. So after scouring the map, I found a single random boar that we sent Kif and the entire squad to go kill. Unfortunately, the Kif ran out of stamina and the boar kept running away, so I sicked the dogs on them by going into our pet menu and assigning some of our pets to Kiffy specifically. So Kif is now escorted by 2 warrior bard poets here, our war dogs, and he was able to get it killed, but then I couldn't get the body. So unfortunately, we decided to sacrifice one of our horses. So we're down for 1 horse, but you know what? Solnir didn't go crazy and kill everyone, so I think it's a win-win. I really do. Okay, friends. Sorry about the mistake there. I was so excited, and then I got halfway through a new episode of episode 7, and I'm like, wait a minute. Or like a minute into episode 7, I'm like, the microphone is off to the side. Was that there for the last X hours? So now I'm going back over my videos to make sure I'm not completely losing my mind, but there you go. That's my life in a nutshell. We have a ton of work orders up right now, as you can see. I am trying to make a couple of crossbows. We're also going to try to make a bunch of iron bolts at some point. So these are all, there's a lot of stuff queued up. And here I thought oh, we've got plenty of, locations and plenty of things to do. No, we need a lot of stuff right now. So we are busy trying to get all this stuff made. This is the dog that's injured, by the way. This is Kikarost, our warrior poet puppy. They got a little bit injured in the fight, and I don't think anyone really takes care of dogs, unfortunately. So I think it's lost a lot of blood, which is super sad. I'm hoping we don't lose a puppy here, but we might. Whew. All that being said, we're still rocking, though. We're still looking pretty flippin' good. Is this still a designation to clean? Oh, you know what? I think I turned this off as a job. Did I turn off stone cutting or engraving? No, everyone can engrave. That's weird. It must be because I assigned it as a lower priority level. Maybe. Man, we need more wood. We are completely out of wood outside. Or inside, I should say. So we have some traders here from the human lands. And I think I brought a bunch of goods over. So let's go ahead and request our broker, Odin, to come visit here at the trade depot. He is going to trade at the trade depot. Lovely. We also have our first couple of visitors. We have our first couple of kinky visitors to our fortress. We've got Nolok Hirokiliko, I guess, from no group. He's just a wandering human. He has a silver whip in his hand. He is a human lasher. Kinky, talented lasher indeed. So he's actually going to come visit us. Oh, maybe he's a guard. Oh, I guess he is a guard. I thought he was one of our actual visitors in the tavern. The tavern does have some random people in it. Amos is listening to a story currently. Are you you're not one of us, are you? You're an axe dwarf from, yeah, the Untamed Silvers, a different group. So you're here visiting us. We've got a couple of other random folks. There's Ned. Ned is visiting us from random place. I don't know. I think he's actually escorting this old wizard guy, Ipan Ikionmo, who is the royal treasurer of the Realm of Excavating, the human group that we are currently trading with. Oh, and I just got done excavating, speaking of, a new storage area in the back, which is going to contain alcohol. Because I'm like, what are we missing here in our lovely tavern? Turns out it's booze. So let's set this to take from the stockpile of booze in the kitchen. And then I'm going to expand this room, redraw this room, so it also includes the stockpile. And I think we're good. Hang on, why did that go weird? Well, it's not really a meeting area per se. Overlapping the rough fruit. What is overlapping the rough fruit? Oh. This is. Okay, that's fine. No, wait. Why is this a gap? What is happening here? The Rough Fruit is the name of the tavern overall. I don't know why there's like a weird line here. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day. We have alcohol stored, which is great. As soon as people start delivering alcohol down here... Hey, one of our dogs has grown to become a... puppies has grown to become a dog. Lovely. As soon as we get alcohol getting delivered, our dwarf that's in charge of the tavern should actually start delivering beer, which is kind of cool. I also wanted to drop down a little bit more furniture because we got a bunch of random tables here. I'm kind of just trying to set it up in this random atmosphere. What you might find in a, you know, any kind of a given random tavern. I try to make a little bar top. I don't think they're going to respect the bar top, but it does look kind of cool. All right, there we go. So we've got our alcohol here. Is anyone rushing to the alcohol? Not so much. Oh, our puppy has died, guys. Oh, that's super sad. Well, it's finally time. Kikrost, Vumerag, Vumereg has passed on. It is splattered with wild boar blood. I mean, I feel like we shouldn't even butcher the dog. I think we should entomb it. But I honestly bet our dwarves are so freaking fast that they're going to immediately grab the dog and run with it. So we'll see what happens here. Our human friends have shared a bunch of information of tales beyond Pantedguild. Oh yeah, I haven't checked that in a hot minute. What kind of news do we have? What kind of news and rumors? Whoa! What in the hell? This is crazy. Is this the monastery that's sending people out of here? The human town of whatever became Lady of the Singed Group. Where are you guys going? You're going up here. All the way up here. In the early spring of 100, do you know the dwarf was known to be in the watchful library at Cradlebin? I love that. Is this like somebody get attacked or something? I can't tell where all the fighting's at. There's just a bunch of combat symbols going everywhere. Like they were like reclaiming territory or something like that. Anyways, I think it's just news. Maybe it's less of an actual combat event and more of just stuff happening. Holy crap, there's tons of stuff happening in the wide world. That's kind of neat. Doesn't concern us much, though. We're just rocking out in our little fort. Our first death, which is a little bit sad. At least it was a puppy, though, and not a dwarf. The dwarf, Kiffy tried, but he actually could not even keep up with the animals, which is kind of amusing. Can't make any more leather water skins because we are out of tanned hide. Not after our doggo gets butchered. How are we doing on trading? Did they finally make it up here? Yeah, Odin is at the trade depot. Okay, let's see what we've got for trade. Now, we have a ton of items to offer, by the way. And I found out that some of our artifacts are worth 2,000 dwarf bucks, if you will. And I think everything in here is something that I'm willing to part with because we're not storing our artifacts in the main finished goods area. We made sure to separate out any of our artifacts for sure. So I think I can safely sell some of these large bins that just have a bunch of random stuff in it. We're selling our crutches in Wolverine Quiver. Anything white, I think, is not a trade good. That's why it's showing up like that. This is pretty useful stuff. We have a lot of goods here. All right, what kind of stuff do you all have? You got some cloth. I'm going to take your cloth. Gimme. You're going to have a ton of leather. I will grab as much leather as I can because we don't really get a great amount of leather. Cloth is helpful, but I don't think it's as useful for us right now as leather is. There we go. Another leather bin for 65. Leather bins galore, my friends. Yes, give us your pelts. I'm going to take all of the meat they've got because why not? Take all of the fishies, mostly because I don't have anything else to trade with. So why not just take as much as we can when we can take it? Take all of your cheese. Who doesn't? Oh, cheese apparently is very expensive. Maybe just a couple of cheeses, please. Give me your finest cheese. Yeah, they brought a lot of cheese with them. Do they have any alcohol? No drinks, though. That's a bit of a bummer. Can I close this down? Oh, I can. That's neat. I can make this smaller. All right, so they didn't have any... I guess I could actually buy all the cheeses. Why is cheese so... Is there like one cheese that's like an artifact level of cheese? I guess it's just the sheer amount. The sheer amount of cheese that I'm buying is overwhelming their profit margin. We'll let them walk away with a decent-sized profit. There's no reason for us not to be picky here. So they're going to walk away here with a trade profit of about 600 dwarf bucks. Let's see if they accept this deal. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for your business. Fantastic. You know what? My friends, you've been so great to us. We're going to let you have... We're going to let you have a... Nope, don't want the water skin sold. Here. What's the most expensive individual item we have? Nah. Here, have a scepter. We'll see that our leader gets this offering. I love that. Alrighty. Make rock door. Needs non-economic hard rock and linked stockpile. Ah, at least my my linked stockpile stuff is actually working. So I'd experimented with this a while ago where we are feeding the shop is only intaking where we tell it to intake from. So both of these shops are taking from Stone Stockpile 17. Stone Stockpile 17 is actually out. We are trying to load this with... we need a wheelbarrow or two. We're trying to bring stone from the downstairs storage into this storage, but I think there's too much going on. We're trying to craft too many things, and... Oh! Dread has given birth to a baby boy. Oh, that's adorable. Congratulations, right there in the middle of the metalsmith shop. That is fantastic. I love that the baby, 0 years old, came out naked as a jaybird with a full, glorious beard. It's true, my friends. This is not lore. This is 100% true. Well done. Yeah, we might have to just cool it for a little bit on some of the crafting items. Let's remove the restrictions on the stockpile, because I think that's going to help them just get the job done. We don't really need to restrict the stone right now. They'll just grab it from wherever they can, I think. We also need to get rid of this clay that's just in the way. Alright, exciting times. What else do we got going on here? Cannot make wooden crafts. Needs, same thing, we need logs into the linked area. We just need gathering stuff, apparently. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just remove any of these linked things and just get stuff done. I think that's kind of the key. Kitchen looks pretty good. Lots of alcohol. We are going to eventually get a system where everything is cleaned up and there's no more stones to... Like, you know, there's tons of stones that need to be moved around here. Kaolinite is kind of in the way. Also, this room is going to be a nightmare to clean up. Ah, we did actually accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. So, here is what we did. We installed a fortification, and we installed a wall. What I'd like to test is, let's put a wall up here. Actually, I don't want to use the closest material. I want to be specific, because we're going to use the same type of stone throughout this entire area. So let's put this here. And I want to use... I could use I wonder if blocks would look any different. Can we use iron bars? So like iron pillars? That'd be so weird. Blocks might look kind of cool. Let's see what blocks look like. Let's use the bauxite block here. I'm just kind of curious of what it's going to actually show as. If you make a wall out of a block... Does it look different than, say, where do we make a wall before? Up here in the crafting level? This is what a normal rough mudstone block wall looks like. This is not a block. This was just a random stone. So we'll see whenever they eventually bring this in here. Man, we're going to have so much stone from this room. I might have to do a quantum stockpile cheat to get rid of all the stone in here. Okay, so the appearance doesn't look any different. It's just kind of like blood red. Which is like, you know, whatever. A blood red pillar I don't know if I'm that crazy about it. So we don't necessarily need to use blocks for this, I guess is what I'm getting at. So let's just grab the nearest stone that is in high supply, because we're going to be using a lot of it. And yeah, I guess we'll just use mudstone, to be honest. Mudstone looks like anything else. I think it's just, this is what mudstone was, right? Rough mudstone wall. Yeah, it's nice. White and gray block. Looks pretty good. Man, our forges are rocking right now. I'm a little surprised that we're keeping up with the charcoal. Ah, we aren't. We aren't keeping up with charcoal, as it turns out. Yeah, we're about to run into a bit of a wood problem. An all supplies problem, to be honest. Meanwhile, our lovely crafter Jade is just absolutely pumping out mastercraft quality left, right, and center. She should be a legendary crafter. Yep, she's a legendary carpenter by now. So she has been absolutely crushing it. Alice the Mason is... Yeah, that's so weird. I no longer know what the masonry skill does. Because apparently doing anything with wood or with stone is now stone carver. How curious. We're up to 30 population, by the way, which is kind of cool. Alright, so did somebody build this yet? No. Our tavern is rocking. Excuse me. We should not have a bull in the china shop. Let's go into zones and add this random animal. I'm guessing it came in the last migrant wave. Yep. Reindeer, Sigan, stray. Don't want the puppies there. We do want the war dog there too. Cool. Just making sure that animals stay in the animal pit. Oh, the other thing I did while I was trying to, desperately mess around with that last episode is I did experiment with, as you can see here, I've channeled out from the top down a little bit of space. And it's kind of working like I was hoping it would. So we're going to continue to channel down slowly over time. The idea here is that we work our way down from the top. And we're going to have a nice big open area where creatures have to attack from. How do I kill this? Why is this tree has not been moved yet? I think I made this tree a cut order 1,000,000 years ago. There it goes. Okay, someone's going to go do it now. Fantastisch. I really love the idea of this tavern. Who's our tavern person again? It is Kvoth. That's right. Kvoth, by the way, if you have not read Name of the Wind, the King Killer Chronicles, I highly suggest it. Where did Kvoth go? He should be in here. Maybe we have to make it a dedicated job. Kvoth the tavern keeper, attending a meeting. Why are you attending a meeting? And who are you attending a meeting with? Is it a secret meeting? Are you a criminal? Oh, that's kind of cool. Storing item in stockpile. Where are you going? Okay, I think I'm going to restrict you to only doing your job. Because I don't want you to wander off and do other things right now. I really need you to kind of focus on in here and just, do stuff in the tavern. So let's see what you do. You're listening to the story. Eating. When you go to eat, you apparently drop off a rat. You grabbed I think you just grabbed a rat and came back. You know what we don't have? What I've really neglected to do is make food. We have a bunch of processed meat and fish, but we are way behind in terms of... Ew, are you eating rotten rat? That's disgusting. We're way behind in terms of meals. So, it is once again time, friends, to make meals. I think we can afford to make a bunch of fine meals for now. So I'm going to say, let's go for broke. Let's make 1,000 fine meals. Why not? Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, this is what I was a little bit worried about. We had a collapse. Oh my God, someone died. Jackson died. Oh no. Oh no. I think he cut down. Is Jackson our miner, right? Oh, that's brutal. I can see the body. No one else can see the body yet. Oh, that's super depressing. A bunch of children got knocked out by a cave-in. How did that happen? Oh god, he was I think he wound up just getting a space where there was no support and it just collapsed. I'm a little surprised he died so quickly. That's brutal. But that, my friends, is the way of the world. No save scumming for Dwarf Fortress, because their save things are permanent. Well, time to make a coffin. It's time. It is, in fact, time. I don't know. Do we want to make this anything special? Do we want to make it out of, like, rock, or do we want to make it out of metal? I feel like a dwarf would appreciate a stone coffin as opposed to a metal coffin. We are going to make a rock coffin. I wish you could specify more about this. We're going to make this a critical job. Only Alice will make this, so she's going to make this right now. Oh man, what a bummer. Well, it wasn't the greatest death. It was a death. At least his children didn't collapse and die too. That was terrible. All right, well, duly noted. I'm going to go ahead and maybe nix these orders to carve this out until I can have better focus. I think what happened was, I think this entire section collapsed. And it might have been where he carved in here and then separated the floating ceiling from any other support, and it just collapsed. Because dwarves aren't always smart. They don't do this from the appropriate area. Yep, Jackson has been found dead with mild crush syndromes. Oh, it's so sad. Well, buddy, I wish we could still see a little bit about the life of Jackson, like his memories before he croaked. It is coated with white sand. He lived how he died. Coated in white sand. How appropriate. We're going to have a dwarven drinking song to honor Jackson and his sacrifice to Pantedguild. Are we done with that coffin yet? Asking for a friend. Oh, it's dark. Well, the urgency factor to finish this area just escalated a notch or two. If this is our grand hall, I kind of like the idea of this being an area that's got all of the coffins of our ancestors in it. Does that make sense? I feel like dwarves would really appreciate that. I mean, you can put coffins anywhere. Dwarves are like, hell yeah, my buddy lives here. Or my buddy died here and he's buried here. We could pave the road to the entrance of our fortress with the bodies of our dead, to tell our enemies that we're not afraid to, I don't know, die? Where are the halls of the honored dead? That is the question. Is there a zone for a graveyard? There is a tomb option. I don't think we want the tomb to be the same place as our glorious thingy. I will have it on the same floor. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to make a new... I feel like, you know, Jackson's mining buddies will appreciate making a brand new room that's dedicated just for him. So, yeah, we'll make that happen. This is 5 wide. We're going to do the same thing down here. A nice big open area. Go through the door. And this is just going to be like a... I don't know, like a weird mausoleum thing. And it can just kind of keep going in either direction, maybe. I don't know. I think that's fine. Let's try that out. Let's see. Let's try it on and see how it tastes, kind of. So we're gonna wait for our dwarves to finish that. Where's the rest of our diggers at? You're conducting a meeting. And you're listening to a story. Guys, this is not the time. We have death on our hands, man. Did anyone grab his corpse and bring it down here? Oh, there's our puppy's corpse. Can we butcher the corpse? Oh, that's messed up. I need to watch somebody to make sure they don't accidentally butcher Jackson. We are going to butcher our puppy friend because no critter should go to waste here. Needs butcherable, unrotten, nearby item. So, I guess, is this considered a person-ish kind of a thing? That means we're going to need another coffin. In fact, we should probably put in an order for many coffins. I feel like this is just the start of our need for rock coffins. I also can't really control what style of coffin is made right now. So, yeah. I wish I could make this the top of the entire list, but I can't. This music makes me think of Battlestar Galactica, of all things. Hey, somebody's actually staying in our... Oh, that's awkward. It's one of our children. I thought this was a visitor staying in one of our fancy rooms. At some point, I did mention that I wanted to slow down a bit and watch one particular dwarf as they went about their day. There's so much going on at any given time. I don't have the time to do it right now. Man, we need to get some mining going, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back into our labor screen. And is there anyone else that's like miner adjacent? Stodier, if you remember Stodier. He's kind of managing all the time. I need someone that doesn't have like a job at all. Stinthod is a miller. Let's go ahead and grab Stinthod. And Lore is a peasant, although they're currently set to fish. Nobody should be a fisher dwarf still. Oh yeah, we left you because you didn't have a job. So we won't use you. We'll just grab Stinthod because we have a hole in the ranks, my friends. We need another body. Now that we've had someone die, I'm about to make something happen where it might cause another death, whereby we remove this wall and see if the support from next to it holds. And if it does, we're going to have to make a support. It's almost like scaffolding. We're going to have to put a wall next to every wall and keep going downward like that. Our merchant friends are taking off. Farewell. You guys were here for our first death. I hope it was worth it. Question mark. I think that's what people say. Jackson really needs to get buried sooner than later. Really need to mine this out anytime here, guys. Odin has no job. There you go. Dig, 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 buddy. Let's get the job going here. Snap to it, as they say. I wonder if anyone's going to have a memory of Jackson. Look at you guys. Getting metal like you should. We have one angry dwarf. That's not fantastic. So people are still getting pretty grumpy here. I hope we don't have a depression spiral. If you haven't played the game before, your fort can go into a wee bit of a depression spiral. So what will happen is a couple people might die, and those people are well loved by some other people, and those people get sad. And then those people eventually get so sad that they commit dwarficide, which is a possibility. And then that makes other people sad as well. And then things just get really, really ugly from there. So it is a possibility. I'm hoping it doesn't happen anytime soon. Can't prepare a raw fish. That is fine. Need to get rid of this corpse then. If we can't use a corpse, then we don't want to store the corpse then. I think refuse is an animal that we can harvest. That doesn't make sense. Why is there a corpse category and a corpse category inside the refuse category? That is confusing. We need to make a garbage dump. We don't have a garbage dump in here. Garbage dumps are areas that have, basically you have to dig a hole down. So like random hole here. And we are going to create a zone called garbage dump right there. And I think what will happen is any dwarf that enters the zone that needs to throw something out, if there is a layer below inside the zone, they'll stand to the edge and throw something in it. So we're going to throw that away. Someone has Jackson. I don't really know where he went, but somebody has him. Oh, that is dark. That is so messed up. Olan, the 4-year-old child, is currently hauling Jackson's corpse to a stockpile. Talk about your freaking early age trauma. Holy crap. We've got miasma down here, which is not great. I don't know where the miasma is coming from. Oh, it's probably our... Yeah, it's the dog's rotten corpse. Sure enough. So we need to get somebody to start dumping refuse. Can we take a look at the labor standing orders refuse area? We don't want to keep corpses. We're going to dump corpses. Here's to hoping that includes animal corpses and not our friends. All right, you guys are... Okay, great. You guys are already doing your jobs. Let's install our first burial chamber. Right here, smack dab in the center of the room. Jackson will be the first one. Congrats, you're the first one who died. We're going to smack you right there. Oh, they're all made out of colonite. That's kind of cool. Isn't that clay? It's probably not the best material in the world, but whatever. Yeah, we'll just place a bunch of these. So we're going to place these down, and I'm kind of curious if... we're immediately... I think they're going to immediately bury Jackson for sure. I don't know if the dog actually gets buried or not. We'll have to do a little bit of experimentation there. There's our puppy sneaking up the whole area. Nasty. So will Jackson's body here in a minute, if no one gets to it. Poor guy. I'm a little surprised the cave-in happened outside. Of all places, I really expected cave-ins to happen inside. Hey, that worked, by the way. Our block pillar is staying erect without the support of anything else. Well, that's fantastic. Then that means we can keep going with our plan, which means... And how am I going to do this? This is going to be a very manual, intensive process, but that's okay. It is a mega project. I think I can plan for this on each floor, maybe. It's a little bit awkward. I'm going to come back to think about this later on. Watching to see when someone delivers the first coffin. New visitor here, a human poet, Rhett. Rhett Aquavotme. Maybe. Ish. Has anyone seen Jackson's corpse? Please don't harvest it. There it is right there. Just hanging out. That's so nasty. That's so gross. Hey, there's a bunch of lovely meals, by the way. That's exciting. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to cancel a lot of the high crafting items because we are pretty much out of wood for a bit and out of... I mean, there's stone here, but people are really behind in terms of, like, delivering goods to and fro. And we need to just, like, cool it, I think. So we're going to take a break from those items and give everybody a time to kind of catch up. In fact, I might let the fortress run for a year off camera without making any major changes, just letting the game run. I'm not sure if you'd like that or not. Would you like an episode where it's just us watching people? Might be a nice change of pace from me kind of moving everything around. Now, is this working where you... I thought you're supposed to serve drinks. Hold up. This is set to a meeting place. This is where taverns are established, yes. We have a bunch of goblets in the area. We have a bunch of drinks in the area. Does no one want a drink, maybe? I'm kind of surprised. I have seen before the person that's in charge of the tavern keeper, actually deliver drinks. So I'm a little surprised we're not seeing that. They're reciting poetry now. Well, why not? Why not recite poetry? Hey, there we go. So the burial coffin is ready. We must designate a tomb. Okay, we are going to designate our first tomb. It needs to be closed off here. Let's grab a door real quick. Mudstone door and a mudstone Nope, that was awkward. Don't want a microline door. Doesn't fit the theme. Doesn't seem appropriate, you know? Mudstone, please. Thank you. So we'll close that off. Now the tomb. Hey, there we go. It already immediately... Did someone already bury him? I don't think so. I think we're waiting on his body. Oh, hold up. That... we don't want individual tombs. We kind of want a burial chamber. Guildhall Temple. Yeah, this is not Jackson's burial thing by himself. Can I just assign this to someone? You must designate a tomb before this coffin will be used for burial. There was also the option to make a slab. Citizens that cannot be buried properly. Coffins must be placed in their own tomb zone in order to work. A coffin object must be made before it can be placed. That's honestly kind of annoying. But we are going to work through it, my friends, because our dwarves are worth it. So we are going to make individual tombs. They have demanded, and we will provide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here, like so. You will see what we're going to make in just a moment, and we're going to make this nice, damn it. If they're needy, we'll make them happy. That's how we roll here at Pantedguild. Only the best for those deceased. Honored ancestors. I like how the entire thing was Jackson's tomb. Oh, man. All right, let's grab some walls. I'm going to put down some custom walls. Everything collapsed, I guess. So you are going to be a... I kind of really like mudstone. I don't know if you know this or not, but mudstone's my jam. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to make a 3x3 room. I'm going to eventually let it be carved out, but for now, I'm going to have to do this manually because I've already kind of cleared this space. Oh, this is really a really annoying way to do this. Maybe it's better to do it like this and then cancel what I don't want. Yeah, I think it is. So everybody gets a 3x3 room. Hopefully we don't die at a rate that I have to do this all the time. Okay, we'll do a bunch of mudstone here. We'll try it for Jackson first and then figure out if it's what I'm thinking. Gonna need a door in here. Oh, we can't do this until we have an adjacent wall, apparently. Okay, fair enough. 1, 2, 3. I hate building constructions like manually like this. Really tedious. I'm kind of a little bit grumpy that you have to make an individual tomb, and you can't just make a massive burial area. Like, where are you supposed to bury your honored dead? Like, not everybody is a king. I understand the fact that kings will want a place to live. We should just bury them in their bedroom and seal the bedroom off forever. All right, Jackson's body's starting to get really funky looking. I think we're going to need to expedite this process here. Poet has shared many tales. Lovely. Lots more visitors coming to our fancy tavern. I'm a little surprised that there haven't been any fights broken out yet. Where? Oh, this is not good. We don't want people staying here. Erg. I'm gonna have to redo the tavern, I think. I don't think it's tracking correctly. I'm gonna do some troubleshooting after this episode and just kind of make sure that just clean up some of the, the logic here and try to fix a couple of awkward things. I'm not digging how stuff is right now. Hey, we had asked for people to, like, smooth this stuff a while ago. Can you guys start smoothing this out? I'm curious, if you smooth a floor that's muddy, will you return it to its default state? Because, you do actually. That'll be kind of helpful. Remember, this area got flooded with water from the farms originally. So I'd like to clean this up and make it a little bit nicer. I think this will do it. Everyone's going to become like a master, I don't know, stone smoother at some point in their lives. What else is going on? Man, I really got to be careful about this freaking channeling thing. What a bummer. I wish that'd be kind of cool if there's an instant replay feature in the game where we would be able to, like, take a look and find out what killed Jackson. Let's put a bunch of milk, cheese, milk animal, shear animal tasks. We haven't done that in a long time. I wonder how many in-game days it takes for an animal to be shearable or milkable again. Got a bunch of beds that we need to place down. And to do that, I'm going to use the repeat thing. Use closest material. There we go. So I don't have to choose this every single time. Yeah, we have a lot of area to catch up on. I kind of got behind a little bit and distracted with shiny things. So let's put a bunch of cabinets down. I think we had some work orders for 20 cabinets. We should have a lot of cabinets. And a lot of chests. So we'll get these new bedrooms done. At some point, I'm going to go ahead and order the smoothing of this entire floor. That way dwarves have a nice, pretty bedroom. And if everything is really nice, including, like, their furniture and the walls, I think I might step it up from a meager bedroom to, like, I don't know, a nice or good. I don't know what the next step would be. All right, we'll put a chest next to the bed. Because, again, we are nothing without symmetry. Yeah, I do think in the next episode, we're just going to cool it a little bit. And maybe try to identify some small problems. But really avoid doing any major changes for a bit. Because our dwarves are, like, really trying to catch up still. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be hauled. A lot of stockpiles need to be restocked. I think the fact that everything is so close, it's so efficient for dwarves to, like, craft things, that it wound up completely blowing away the stockpiles. Ooh, that looks really nice now, actually. Ooh, we're going to smooth everything. Life looks better smooth. Awesome. Still waiting on these walls downstairs. Jackson's corpse is getting pretty ripe, I bet. Our dog has basically withered away to a skeleton at this point. I wonder if people get upset if they see his corpse. Annoyed, not being able to pray. Disgusted after retching on a miasma. Didn't feel anything after seeing the dog dead. Oh, that's super sad. That's super dark. We need barrels like nobody's business, too. Yeah, we need to catch up on a bunch of stuff. This fortress is a mess. I think part of the problem is we need a lot more wood, and wood is kind of like all over the place. Maybe it'd be better to have, like, oh, we're gonna mine this out anyways down the road. I was gonna say maybe an intermediate stockpile where people can kind of like bring all the wood to the main door. How come you guys are? Hold up. Why are you doing? Why did you install that, but you haven't installed the walls down here? It takes some time. I bet everybody was coming downstairs at a very, very slow pace. Oh, no. I probably did this the wrong way. I could have made, like, a 1x2 room, and I bet it would have been satisfied. Just kind of annoyed that you have to make an individual tomb. Previously, on Dwarf Fortress, you could have a, like a pretty massive open area that's almost like a, what do we call it? Like a coffin farm or a burial museum? Is that the right term? Oh no, we had our first crash to desktop, my friends. Well, there you go. You get to see the sweet awesomeness that is the music player. And I think I'm going to call it right there. That is our first crash to desktop. Ooh, does this mean that Jexon's going to come back alive because I haven't saved in half a year? Oh my. Tune in next week to find out more. Man, this last episode has been a complete crap show. So my apologies. Jexon's died. The game crashed to desktop. Oh, I'm a little bit worried. We did get a patch. I wonder if that's going to cause any problems on the fort. We'll have to see. All right, friends. Thanks so much for joining me for this messed up episode of Dwarf Fortress. More to come, I hope. I'll see you then next time.